Alright YouTube, how you guys doing? In this video I'm going to go over the apps that I've got on my iPhone 4. Now I've just kind of cleaned up all the apps that I have on my iPhone. I've arranged them a bit more 8 months on, and I thought this would be a good time to kind of go over the apps that I'm using and hopefully get some feedback from you guys. Now I'm not going to go over every single app, because if I were to do that I could literally spend a week going over every single app. I'm going to go over the main ones that I use and just briefly tell you. Now here of course is the main screen, the core screen where you've got all the kind of main applications, and from the screen the only one that I don't use is probably Compass, voice memos and stocks. Apart from this I pretty much use everything else, and the bottom ones here I've got camera, mail, Safari and phone. These are the ones that I heavily rely on. Going on to the second home screen, as you can see it's folder haven here, and I've got loads of game folders. I've got about 3 or 4 different game folders because obviously you can't fit more than 9 inside a folder, but let's give you a look as to what is inside the first game folder. So wow, these must be really old games because I can't remember the last time I actually played one of these, but from this screen the good ones I would say is air hockey, and Bird Strike is amazing. Huge fan of cricket, that's why I've got Flick Cricket Pro. I used to play this game a lot and I might just go back to it once I've played or done this video. FIFA 10, I just got it for the sake of getting it. I played it for the first few days and didn't go back to it. Jenga I haven't played since I've done the review, to be honest, although I play it more on the iPad. And the rest of these I don't really play much, so I'm not going to go or bore you too much. The second folder is navigation, and this folder gets used a lot, trust me. Copilot, TomTom and Tube Deluxe. If you are travelling to London, one of the main applications that you need to get, forget everything else, is Tube Deluxe. This application right here is going to be a lifesaver, and trust me, and you can thank me later on. And I got this app on advice from you guys on YouTube and Twitter. This is a must. If it's available on Android, go get it. If it's available on BlackBerry, go and get it. But this is amazing, this application. It will get you to A to B in London, which is not the easiest thing to do, but this does help. And of course TomTom and Copilot are sat-nav applications which I've done an extensive review on. And the next folder is productivity, and I must say from these I use all of them pretty much quite a lot. Dropbox I've recently got into, and I'm kind of late into the game, but man is it amazing. And it's one of those applications where you think, you know, why has Apple not bought over this company yet? Why, oh why? Because it's just sweet. Log me in, basically I've done a review on this. If you click on the screen you can go to that video. Basically it's remote access, so I can be anywhere in the world, and if my iMac is switched on and connected to the internet I can see my home screen of my iMac and control it that way. Pretty handy for when I go to China next month, no doubt, because of course YouTube, Twitter, Facebook and all these social networking websites are banned there, so might prove very useful. Deliveries is a must, and I've said this every single time. It is one of the applications that you need to get if you do a lot of deliveries or you make a lot of online purchases. You get UPS, FedEx, Parcel Force, Royal Mail, DHL, AT&T, any courier company, you name it, and you get kind of notifications, which is pretty damn awesome. iDisk, of course, for mobile me. Goodreader I haven't touched, and Air Display I haven't touched either, but I've done reviews on Air Display. It's pretty neat, but I think I use it more on the actual iPad, simply because size does matter when it comes to Air Display, and if you click on the video on screen you know exactly what I mean. So let's see what's in sports. Not too sure why Scott Traffic isn't here. Scott Traffic is one of those applications which is a must for any Scot. It gives you live traffic updates from motorways and traffic kind of hotspots. And as you can see, it's literally been updated in the last 2 minutes, and it gets updated every 1 or 2 minutes. Pretty nifty, just for those of you who stay in Scotland. It doesn't cover any other areas, and it uses Traffic Scotland. Again, for those of you who stay in Scotland know exactly what Traffic Scotland is. Runkeeper was free a few weeks ago and I did tweet it out. A must. This, guys, is an amazing application. Whether you do any of these sports, so let me show you. Running, cycling, mountain biking, walking, hiking and so on. I happen to do cycling and it's pretty nifty because it tracks all the time. So let's go here. These are the latest ones that I've done, and as you can see it tells you the mileage, the speed that you were roughly going at, how long it took you, how many calories you burnt, and it also gives you a map, a Google map, showing you what route you took, which needless to say is pretty nifty. oh geez, this video is already 6 minutes long, so I'm going to have to boost it up a little bit. News apps, and I've said this in my what's in my iPad, I've got loads and loads of news applications, and the reason for that is I kind of like to read a lot of news stories and kind of make my own judgment on it rather than relying on the one source. It gives me a better idea of kind of, you know, who's right, who's wrong, bias, etc, etc. The next folder is travel. I happen to be a huge Emirates fan, and basically you can check or manage bookings, flight status and so on. PF3 is pretty nifty because it gives you a live update as to how many planes are in the UK airspace at any given point. As you can see, London Heathrow being one of the busiest, or if not the busiest international airport, it is like a nest, whereas Scotland not so many, but it's pretty cool. It just goes to show how technology has kind of moved on. And here's some other applications which might be of interest related to phones. WhatsApp is basically a text messaging service which is free of course, but the other person you're texting must have this app which you have to purchase for about 59 pence I believe, and then once he or she has that, then you can do free kind of text messages, and it's pretty much instant. It's global, so it's pretty nifty because my dad's kind of always about, and I can, you know, kind of stay in touch with him rather than emailing him. But it's pretty nifty. Skype, you all know what it is. This application here called Viber is identical WhatsApp, but the difference is you can make voice calls, which is pretty nifty. Free voice calls, may I add. The other person also has to have the application Viber, and then, you know, you can go through your phone book or your address book, and that will highlight which person has got this app, and then you can give them a call. And it's pretty nifty, especially if you're travelling abroad and you want to keep in touch with home, and you don't want to kind of pay extortionate rates. All in all, it's a fantastic application, Viber. The only problem that I'm having is it's not BlackBerry and Android supported. I know a few people who happen to be on BlackBerry. My dad's got a BlackBerry Bold, so ideally it is coming. We don't know when, but it'd be pretty nifty if it's kind of cross-platform and you can make phone calls to anywhere, any device. Moving along, lifestyle and stores, and they are pretty much self-explanatory. Cinemas, Domino's Pizza. I don't know why I've got it. I've never ordered Domino's from this phone. Subcard. Huge fan of Subway. Starbucks, never used the application, just got it for the sakes of having it, or the sakes of filling up some of this iPhone up because I'm struggling to fill it up. And the next folder is utilities. iMovie, great application. It's one of the, I've done a review on this again. If you've got an iPhone, you do a lot of editing, or you know, you've got family videos on here and you want to kind of do video editing on the go. Nothing too pro. Find My iPhone. I'm probably the only person who hasn't used it as much as some people who do. Gallery, battery doctor, speed test. MeTube is basically downloading YouTube videos onto your phone. It's kind of removed from the App Store now. It's kind of those where Steve Jobs didn't like it, so he removed it, but I managed to get my hands on it. VLC, I haven't used it as much as I thought I would use it. I believe this has also been taken off the App Store, but I can't remember. Photoshop Express, it's a good application and most of you probably are familiar with it. And now coming on to some of the hardcore games, and these are the games that I play quite a lot. Tetris, Prince of Persia, Shrek, Grand Theft Auto, not as much, Fruit Ninja, and then Rage HD, wow, Cut the Rope, and Real Solitaire. I don't play that, my mum plays it most of the times, and Sonic the Hedgehog, how can you not know what this is? And up next, some more games, of course. Doodle Dump is basically something like Doodle Jump. It's basically making fun of it, and as the name suggests, it's dump. Yep. Ping Pong is pretty nifty actually. Let me give you a small demo of it. And here it is, as the name suggests, let's get a game going, and basically you have to, of course, not make the ball hit the floor or go outside the racket, and the more you hit the ball, the more points you get, and it becomes a bit more challenging, as you're going to see. You're going to get some more extra points, and I'm playing pretty good, and as you can see you've got these here. You guys get the point. It's a great game. I think it was free a few days ago, hence why I picked it up. Next up is social, which I heavily rely on. Facebook, Twitter, Ustream, although I'm not using Ustream much. Again, I've got Ustream, Broadcaster and Recorder just for the sakes of filling up my iPhone. And Machinima, basically it's a gaming community, and most of you again are probably familiar with it. You can kind of catch up on gameplay and so on. Some factual applications, although I've not come across the perfect application for facts. Again, it's just, you know, random facts about life. Wikipedia, again, it's not that good. Again, if you guys know any, you know, do leave it in the comments below. So last but not least, when it comes to folders, photography. And this here, Camera Sync, is a very nifty application. Basically what it is, it transfers all your files from your photo or pictures album in your iPhone to accounts to your Dropbox, or you can add any of these, MobileMe, Amazon, iDisk or FlickR. It's pretty nifty, so it gathers all the pictures. I don't know about you guys, but my pictures folder is, you know, quite big, just the way she likes it. And manually doing it can be a hassle, and if you know you just want to transfer the whole thing, it'll do it over Wi-Fi or 3G, which is pretty nifty, and the name kind of speaks for itself. So do give it a try. I believe it's about £2 or £3. Secondly, Camera Plus. I'm sure you're all aware of what this is. Basically camera, but with a few more tweaks. You've got zoom, you get the point. And last but not least, Canon lenses. This was recommended to me by one of you guys. It basically goes over all the Canon lenses and gives you all the details that you need. So it gives you the price as well in US dollars, which is of course very useful. Insert sarcasm here. And it basically just gives you the kind of, you know, information, details, price, filter size, and you can view it on the Canon website. Free application. And last but not least guys, when it comes to applications, this is the home screen in which I have individual apps which I can't be arsed putting into folders because I just, you know, can't seem to find which category they would fit in, and if they do fit a category I've not got space and I don't want to create just a folder for one application. But out of these, the only ones that I kind of use a lot is Shazam. I'm often watching TV or listening to the radio when I want to watch, you know, find out what the song is. Shazam is superb. iTunes for all the kind of podcasts and so on. LED flashlight is surprisingly useful. I can't imagine or can't remember the times I've just pulled this out to use it as a torch, and you can control it by pressing on and off here. Can't seem to remember whether this was free or not, but it's definitely worth having, so you don't obviously have to have a torch with you. Your camera acts as a pretty nifty torch, and it is very powerful. Step Brothers is basically a film. If you've not seen this film, you do not know what you're missing out on. It is hilarious, every single bit of it. And this application basically takes out some of the quotes and puts them into kind of... It puts them into audio files, and you can play back some of these words.
Now you're embarrassing yourself, you geriatric fuck!
Whoops. And what else have we got? Vuvuzela was during the kind of football hype. It's gone now. Sky Plus is pretty useful for those of you who stay in the UK and who have a Sky box, and it basically tells you what's on TV, so you don't need to look at TV guides and so on. It's pretty nifty. It's free of course, so I don't know why anyone would pay for this. And guys, that's it pretty much for this video. That's all the applications that I've got, and apologies for making this video so friggin' long. But if you think you have an application that I haven't tested out, you know, leave it in the comments and I will for sure try it out. If you've got a video response, do leave it as well. And guys, remember you can join me on iGlaswegian.com, twitter.com/i6glasswegian, facebook.com/iGlaswegian, and guys, I'll see you in another life. Cheers.